because I think it's something that it goes beyond just understanding. It has to be a natural link.
Yeah.
It has to be some kind of spirit connect that make it work just seamlessly like that.
So, Fayann, when you first met Bunji, how do you know? Yeah, that's gonna be my man.
I didn't know. I met him when I was 17.
Why? So a long time you watching him now?
Yeah.
Let me man.
See, that's what it's a man thing. I know. I'm like 1 out of 3 females in here, but that doesn't mean we're outnumbered. You understand? Listen, let me get the facts right. Okay, no, Garlin, you're born everything, but let's get it together. Okay, let's get it together. No, my dad was like the biggest Bunji Garlin fan in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, every time we come, because I live in South, so every time, which is country, so every time we come to Port of Spain, he, Bunji, I'm like, that's your son or something. What's with you and this guy? He's like, no, Gil, this guy is talented and you need to meet him and da. So those days they had like brass festival and in PSA, and I went to brass festival with that. We were backstage and he was passing with some people and that was like, ooh, there's Bunji. And then he runs across and grabs him out the group of people that he's with and says, I need to take a picture with my daughter. So I'm looking at this guy like, okay, what's so fascinating about
Oh, Lord.
this dude? He's, okay, fine. Because
Don't
I
you
didn't know
heard
who
that
he
story
was.
before?
I was 17. I did not know who he was. So then we take a picture. I kept the picture. And then years later, fast forward to 2004 is when he found that I was actually cute enough to start talking to.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I see Bunji. I was like, oh, Lord.
Talk the things then.
Okay, Bunji, you know what? I want to hear your side of the story because, you know, there's always 3 sides. The truth, her side,
When
and
you're a
his
woman,
side.
when you're a woman, there's only one side.
No comment.
No, the thing is, the truth is,
Huh?
I was passing backstage, right?
Uh-huh.
It was brass festival, and I heard psst.
Audacity! The audacity!
Because
So
he was there.
Who's this young man looking at us?
Oh my gosh!
Know your place, lady.
I can't believe you're coming to the national radio to Lyons, St.Lucia.
So I said, all right, because you're cute and everything, next time don't psst, but let's have a dialogue.
Okay, I just have one thing to tell you.
Wait.
So
Wait.
Is it the same hotel with me?
Come
Because
now, wait.
I need to
Listen.
fix that right
No,
now.
listen, right?
Because I don't want to stay away.
Listen. Yeah, so her dad introduced us to each other backstage.
Is this an amendment to the
Brass
situation?
festival. No, that's not amendment.
No, you did not rescind the first part that you said.
I
So you
didn't
need...
send in the first part. You did see man go psst. But her dad introduced...
St.Lucia, she's in the studio blushing. Like, she's blushing away.
That wasn't true though. That would not naturally that wouldn't make sense to the story anyway. But her dad introduced us backstage to one another, brass festival. And she was young then, and like basically she was like a little girl at that time. So I didn't like put face like to commit to memory because her dad introducing her to his daughter. You don't do them things.
You're careful, yeah.
Yeah, good night, nice meeting, and I gone. So it was like years later, I started taking note of this young lady who performed on this band. Where this girl come from, you know? Trim, 6-pack, this, that, that. Like, this is unlike, you know. And then she would remind me, she said, you met me long time ago. You can remember you met me? I was like, no. And then she put out this picture. We even took a picture and I didn't.
She kept the picture?
And I did.
Listen,
There's the moment.
Okay, who takes a picture with a celebrity and then says, "Oop, okay, I captured the moment, throw it away now." Who does that? You keep stuff like that.
Okay.
So there's no
No, she had the picture and she was like, remember this? And I was like, shoot. I didn't even remember we took a picture together. But looking at the picture then, there was a certain, just the way the picture looked, you could have tell from then.
Yeah.
Right? It was going to happen.
There's a spark.
Yeah.
In her eyes, huh?
No, both
Oh
of
my!
us. Both
Why
of
are
us.
you? I don't like this guy. Can we get a new horse?
No, you could have seen the comfort zone. You could have seen the comfort zone with both of us. The atmosphere was just correct. The way the picture, I seen the picture in my mind now. It was almost like it was scripted.
Yeah.
It should be this way then, and I guess it was supposed to be that way. And all well and good with me.
All well and good.
Yes, sir.
Now,
no complaints, no regrets.
when you're performing on stage, you know, of course, being a very attractive woman, guys would try to approach you on stage and stuff. How does it make you feel? And that's like an honestly serious question because I've tried to put myself in your shoes. And boy, trust me, the savage will come out there.
And it feel good, man.
It feel good?
Yeah,
So
because there's one thing to be performing on stage with a woman in the band you're married to. And nobody want to go and, you know, nobody want to, it's like,
valid point.
yeah, it's good when you see them go, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
have something
that's
here.
mine.
Right.
Take your eyes off.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. But no, you know that not everyone can handle that. So, don't want these people watching it. Look, it's like,
Yeah,
they better be watching it tonight, though.
Yeah, so Fayann, is it the same way for you though?
For me, I understand. We both clearly understand the line between personal and professional. So for us, there is no gray area. I know, and then it comes with a certain level of trust too. Because I mean, if we both have to be policing each other all the time, it's gonna drive you crazy. It's gonna dissolve the whole relationship, and then the trust factor is gonna be null and void. So yeah, I mean, and I already told him the minute women stop liking him, I'm divorcing him. Yeah, I don't want nobody at war. I don't understand. Come on, I mean, it's just like that. No, for me, it's nice, you know, to see he still has the admiration of female fans and stuff like that, and it doesn't bother me at all. And I think some of them get a little bit upset because it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, because they want a little drama, you know.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, that touched my mind. I'm like, go take a picture, child. What's wrong with you? No, because I had this one woman who were in Washington, and she's like, Dad, I like you, man. I feel I want him. I like you have a green card or you have citizenship. So we can work something out. You just let me know. I just need him back home by 6. I'll take one for the team. It's not a problem. You understand? Hook a sister up.
Now let's put aside the personal and relationship stuff aside and let's go into music. Fayann, what can you say basically was a song that put you on the map as an artist?
I would think it's My Turn Now because that particular track made people actually listen to Fayann and ask who is she and what is she doing and okay, what is she about? And then I followed that up with Display, of course, which was a good follow-up because that year I won the road march and I participated in Sokomona for the second time and you know really kept up with the expectations of a lot of the fans that I was actually building. So I think the initial okay, who is Fayann Lyons and what is she about would be My Turn Now. That was the song that actually made people sit up and say, okay, let's hear what you have to say. And other people say, well, you know, later on in the career, the biggest song, whatever. My Turn Now was not my biggest song ever, but it was the song that made people pay attention. Because remember, Super Blue doesn't have sons that sing. He has daughters. So for a daughter to come out that aggressive and that in your face and that bold, they're like, okay, let's see what of her dad actually resides in her that would make sense, that we would want to actually invest time in seeing her grow as an artist.
But speaking about your father, do you think that being the daughter of Super Blue, a certain pedestal was placed, you were placed on a certain pedestal that made it
pedestal? Dude, that man made my life hard. Oh my gosh. It was hard because one, I already get scrutiny and critique because you're female. So it's how you look, if you're prettier than this one, and if you're sexier than this one, and who's this and who's that, and who's the queen of this and who's that. So they already put you against all of that. Then this dude is huge and talented and writes all these phenomenal songs, and here I am coming as his daughter and having to not be called Super Blue daughter, and you trying to sing everything under God's green earth that you could possibly muster up to write to sing so that people could see you as an individual and people like, hey, I like your song, Super Blue daughter. Yeah, that's Super Blue daughter, you know, she could sing. And you're like, my name is Fayann. My name is Fayann. And then, worse yet, marry this guy. And now, hey, that Bunji wife, you know. Yeah, that's Super Blue daughter and Bunji wife. Yeah, them two of them, you know, Bunji and Super, two big artists. And I'm looking at them like, so... What
am I?
So, what are you telling me? I need to do what? to actually get the Fayann Lyons. And I think it's only after 2008 where I came back with Get On and started doing all these, like creating that different type of music that I was actually doing, which was not what everybody else was doing. Because the Get On was like different, and the Consider It Done was different, and I started experimenting with Lucian music and mixing it with my own thing. Then people was like, oh, that's Fayann Lyons. And then stepping on stage and making people drop and roll and sit down and dive off stuff. It's like, okay, we can't call her Super Veloto no more. And she definitely is not Bunji Garlin's wife anymore. That's Fayann Lyons. And you know, slowly but surely you start to chip away at the mold, and you create your own image and you create your own platform. And now I don't get the Bunji Garlin wife and I don't get the Super Veloto, which are all great accolades, but for women, it's something that basically limits you. From a professional standpoint. Okay. And it's not a disrespectful limit, it's just any limit is a limit that shouldn't be placed on women. You should not be defined by who you're with.
True. I can imagine the pressure that'll be on your daughter now. She's like, oh, that is Fayann daughter. That's Bunji daughter.
Me, she ain't having that. She ain't having that.
I can imagine. Now, Bunji, let's go to you. Let's first of all start off with the song Red Light District. I heard there was a bit of a controversy when it first came out. People were reading wrong into the song, yeah?
Yeah, because a lot of people just saw the name, the word Red Light District,
yeah,
and automatically they went into, you know, the public knowledge of what a red light district is. It's something that West Indians have a guilty of doing all the time. We see the topic of something, or we see the name of something, or we see a particular word, and automatically we associate that this is what this means, right? But we are musicians. We're able to, you know, formulate dimensions and angles and spins on it. That's what Red Light District was designed as. It was this, the Red Light District, the song was the story of the man and woman, the husband and wife, or the boyfriend and girlfriend. And over the span of how many years, their relationship probably get kind of, you know, right? And the distance that some women are willing to go to spark that fire into the relationship, that will make a man actually say, wait, I feel like in a red light district, you know, because I mean, she's doing all different sorts of things, polls and this and but it is but that is indoors between this woman and her husband, or this woman and her boyfriend. It wasn't outside of that saying, you know, we're going out tonight, and we're going out by the strip club, and we're going this, and we're going to tip, right? No part of the song said, that is what we're going to do. It was, I feel like. That was the key part that everybody missed. But no, everybody forget that.
Like the strip, yeah.
And I just sit and look at all of them stupidly. Like, you know, when you realize you're making sense, then I will talk.
So was that inspired by true events, the song?
No, it was inspired by
observation. I played the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth. As a lawyer, I would advise you.
No, but I mean, it was just from observation, you know. I mean, you see it on TV shows, you see it on this, you read about it in books. All different. I mean, it is out there in the world. It is out there in the world. So, I mean, and as music, hello, and as writers and creators in the arts, I mean, part of our duty is to absorb the existing information that is all out there and put it to use. You don't just leave a topic at that strain because, you know, and then in soca music, you know, we always try to, and you see, we always try to play too safe. We always try to stay within certain parameters, and it borderlines us from going beyond. Naturally, we're competing against world genres that go to the edge, right? And some even go beyond the edge. Whether we like to think of it that way or not, we are competing against the rest of genres in the world for a space in this world to say, yeah, right? But what we are gifted with, especially in from original days in calypso music, was always double entendre. You take this topic, you sing about this, but you sing about it in that way. So this actually means this, but it sounds like it means that. Right? We are the most unique musicians with that. Not much other genres are able to do it like that. We're very spectacular doing it. And it's something that we should harness because we could go to different places while doing it.
Now let's talk about differentology and how the song has definitely exploded and taken your career to the universe now. When you first recorded this song, when you first you and your team are writing, did you ever think that they'll reach so big?
I didn't know how big. We know it would have grown beyond the walls of the normal soca community. We just didn't know how far or how big or how wide it would have grown and spread. And what we're observing here now, for instance, from then to now, it's still growing. You know, I mean, it's outgrown its West Indian Cup now.
Royalty checks coming in, boy.
And it's not growing, right? And there's a lesson in this too, for us as well, because when it comes to soca, we naturally already we set a time frame because we go from carnival to carnival. So automatically, as soon as carnival done, we start preparing material for the next year, and no one really do any follow up of the existing material that is out there already. Because remember, when we put this music out there, it will stay in where it is made for, but it's only until you push it, it will go to other places, and a lot of the material have the potential to go beyond our waters. But because we already jump into concentrating on new music for the next season, all this good music that we put out die off already, and they never go to different places. So here we are 2 years later with this song, and it is still growing. I still have to travel here, Fay and I still have to travel there, we still have to travel there to follow up the song, to do performances. Because this place getting it for the first time, Norway hearing it for the first time, Switzerland, this place. What am I supposed to do? Well, that song I'm playing no more in Trinidad, so I ain't gonna follow it up. That is foolish. You can't do that. What we're doing is work, is not fun, no games. So we have to be prepared to follow it up wherever it may go. And if you see an opportunity for it to go, you have to take the chance and try to push it there and see what happens. You know, I mean, it's a whole year, so you still have time to run back home and get your material ready for the next year. But while you have time, take some chances. Right. Well, I learned it that.
You learned it that way. Now, if there's an artist that you could collaborate with right now, and let's say, for example, in the R&B genre, or any genre for that sort, who would it be?
I always say Lionel Richie. Always say Lionel Richie.
Wow.
Always.
Yes.
Always.
Wow.
Anytime I question him, I always say Lionel Richie first.
Lionel Richie.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to think of this one, and then all kind of different things rushing through my head.
Lionel Richie first, Maroon 5 second.
The Maroon 5 I can see.
Right.
The Lionel Richie.
Right. Just because it can't see Lionel Richie is why I said Lionel Richie.
I get where you're going with that, because it brings it back to the point where you're talking about, we're competing against so many genres, and it's to put the music on the map.
Yeah, that's how to go out of the box.
Exactly.
And my reason for saying Lionel Richie, the perfect song for me, and my favorite song in life, was done by Lionel Richie, which is All Night Long. I always call that song the perfect song. I just call it a living song. It's one song that when you listen to it, the music, you hear the music changing from one form to the next while maintaining consistency throughout the song. Different elements come alive in the song that you don't hear again from the first verse into the second verse. The way the lyrics was written. And the song was written basically like universe, because there's a part in the song where we're going to party, lime. You're from America, you're talking about we're going to lime. Right? And it touched everywhere, and then you had the bitter African coming here, and this, and it was the perfect song for me. And because they were able to create that, to me, means that he is able to adapt and create any style that he chooses to. True. That is what I would like to work with.
So, Fay-Ann, what about you? Any artists that you'd like to work with?
Pink.
Pink.
Yeah.
But the thing is, between you and Pink, there'll be one problem.
What?
They'll be clashing for best hairstyle. I didn't know that. Selected is in the building. Selected. I know you have a question to ask. I know you're in the back there. Not yet? Okay, alright, good.
Pink. I love Pink. I think she's awesome.
Okay, so Fay-Ann, R&B.
R&B.
Album?
You think I should?
Why not?
Why?
Because it's cool.
I know. Honestly, right now we're working on the album with VP, and we're working. I just did the first song that we're going to do the music video for on the album with Major Laser's Chillionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the first one we coming out of Major Laser's camp. Called Shut It Down, and the second one is Boy Wonder, who did Drake and P. Diddy and all these people's albums. So I'm very fortunate to have somebody like him actually reaching out and helping me with the album. So I did 2 tracks for him so far. He's mixing and mastering one as we speak.
Nice.
So we have 2. That's 2 tracks so far, and then I have a bunch of others that I've already written. We're just trying to put music to them and get it done. But those 2, and we're going to do the video for Catch Me, and we're trying to start production in Belgium when we go to Belgium in August.
Nice.
So I can get that different scenery kind of stuff.
Well, I have a private jet, so just let me know. I can fly over
Like,
to
oh my
Belgium.
gosh,
So,
you're like so cool.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I got my G6 and everything sorted out. So let's talk outrageous, sexy, and black. Okay, we've gotten all the serious things aside. We'll talk about the fete tomorrow. The excitement, the buzz is around. I'm telling you, every single store across St.Lucia has black outfits, black outfits, black outfits. You understand? I went white because I like to break rules. So I just let you all know from early.
But then you'll be very easy to throw out of the party. Just watch.
I think as a celebrity, you check it. So.
Anybody in white, get it out.
Outrageous, sexy, and black. What is the performances going to be like tomorrow? I know it's pure energy.
We don't plan performances. Last year we did not plan. We what we do is we just learn a bunch of songs and then we come out on stage and perform them.
Yep.
We don't plan who's going to stand where and what's going to be said by who and the lights and all. We don't do any of that.
Room for all the vibe now.
Everything is 120% spontaneous and energy.
So if I see you, let's say in January I saw you in Belgium, in March I saw you in Switzerland or something, the performance is always going to be
It's always going to be different because the songs might be the same, but the performance is always going to be different because it's spontaneous. Like even down to sometimes you freestyle on one thing and then in the next show we'll do a freestyle. We'll say, okay, cool, that was nice from last night, so we do that again. But because it was done spontaneously, to do it to reproduce it, you have no choice but to do it almost differently. Same format but almost differently. So even if we do like a freestyle battle and I do something and he does something, the next night if we decide to do it again, it'll be totally different topics, totally different something or totally different format. And I think that's one of our strong points. We call it discipline chaos. We like being structured, but not really structured.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You talk about freestyle battles, so after seeing that BBC thing, that's.
I taught him that,
I believe you. I believe you. So, Bunji, Fay-Ann, it's about that time, right? We cannot come and not freestyle.
I'm a bag. I have money. I pay for my style. He will do his for me.
I get it. Bunji, ready?
Check. Only on one side of the cell phone, that's the problem. Yeah. We in St.Lucia where me sit down on the radio station upon the churches like a throne. Love. I want to freestyle properly, but only hearing on the right side of my headphone. Yeah.
Yo.
Man, it's okay, and it's alright. Tomorrow night we not dressing up in white, so we dressing up in black and we launching an attack. It's the sexy in the black. I tell them Mr. Fat Fayann, Lyons and Asylum. Jump up on the stage there with the Viking and me while take them like his tires on the fire, then me pile them. And when me tell them, we never go file them. Cameras up on the side, but we left it have none. Everybody in the studio come to have fun. Big up all producers, all the artists, all St.Lucia. Make sure you have your big flag. We West Indian represent as one. What we say?
Put your hand in the air.
What?
I said it. All I said it, I'm missing my part. That just flattened the dance. It was a rap. Drop mic, walks off stage.
Boom!
That's right.
Kaboom! Outrageous, sexy, and black tomorrow. Gaty and Rodney Bay. Any final words? Because I know you guys must be tired. You gotta relax and chill.
We don't ever have final words. That's for funerals.
I like that.
Yeah. Words until
like
later.
that.
Tomorrow. Humble simple pun.
Well, I would like to go first and say that we give thanks that we are able to be here again. Right now, we know that the audiences and the populace have choices of bands and artists they would like to see. And to be here again is a testament of where we stand in the hearts and minds of St.Lucians here. Where this event is concerned, and we are very grateful again to be here. And we are going to go out there tomorrow and have some fun. People, please be safe. Anyway, go tonight, anyway, go tomorrow night. We know carnival is in the air and all that, and the vibe is right there. Check.
what he said. I agree with every single thing to the T. Oh yeah, and just where would I get saltfish this over the evening? 'Cause
Ooh, oh boy.
I can't come St. Lucia and not have saltfish. It's like sacrilege.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yes, so.
Yeah, so I'll let the management team deal with that.
And some Baron's pepper sauce, thank you very much.
Oh,
I
boy.
hope I'm not asking for too much. I'm
Oh.
just saying.
Oh,
Thank you.
Fayann, I'm hungry now. Outrageous, sexy, and black. Gotta thank the Viking and the Vi Queen for stopping through. Of course, Lion proud sponsors of our